We're alive.
We're on. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the June 5th commission meeting. Let's start with pledge of allegiance, please. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First on the agenda here, we have approved the minutes for the May 15th meeting. I'll entertain a motion to approve those.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from May 15th as submitted.
I second that.
No other discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And I'll approve our accounts payable vouchers.
I make a motion, we approve the accounts payable vouchers as presented.
Second that motion. No other discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And our payroll docket.
Motion to approve payroll docket as submitted.
I second that.
No other discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And next up on our agenda, we have Treasurer Megan. Good evening.
Good evening. I had a copy already. Did you have a copy of this?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So what I'm doing is I'm just updating our contracts that we have with AFCS, which is American Financial Credit Services. What they have done for us in the past, which we've always had a contract with them, is they collect our judgment debts. So they send out certified letters, all the demand notices, lots of mailing and communication, and then they would collect those debts for us. So like I said, we've always had them. We just haven't utilized them in the last few years. So I wanted to pick that back up and just get renewal signatures and everything. So extra cost of the county.
It's the same contract we've had before.
Yep, just updating all of our names on it because it's been a while.
I make a motion, we approve the vendor's service contract with the American Financial Credit Services.
I second that motion.
Any other discussion? No. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
You're fast.
You're welcome. Do you need a copy of that?
Heather will. You should get it tomorrow. You can get it tomorrow after you send it to them.
Thank
Thanks,
you, ma'am.
y'all. Have a good one.
You too. And then we have, next up, opioid settlement funding request. Which who's first? Ruth Haven, Brandy? or-
I'll go first. if That's okay.
Okay.
I'll break the ice. How y'all doing?
Good.
I'm Pastor Micah Adkins from God's Not Done Ministries. And I have two different options here where we're requesting funding from the opioid settlement fund. The first would be inpatient, and God's Not Done Ministries is a 501c3 faith-based organization committed to the holistic restoration of individuals impacted by addiction. We're seeking financial support from Jefferson County's opioid settlement funds to establish and operate a long-term opiate-focused recovery program home in Madison, Indiana. I have inpatient and outpatient proposals. I'll go through both of them, and then I'm going to give you all a copy. We're seeking financial support from Jefferson County's opioid settlement funds to establish and operate a long-term opiate-focused recovery program home in Madison, Indiana. This program will provide a safe, structured, and spiritually grounded environment for individuals transitioning from addiction to lifelong recovery. Jefferson County, like much of rural Indiana, has been heavily impacted by the opioid epidemic. While healthcare systems and law enforcement address crisis points, long-term recovery housing remains scarce. And I'm going to keep it brief, but Brandy and I both were kind of on the front lines of addiction here in Madison, and we are constantly taking people out of town. out of town. And people, and when we have somebody contact us and they need help, or we're asked to come to the hospital, or to get somebody from the jail, in that immediate moment where they are seeking help, if something's not done then, in 5 minutes elapses, then everything changes. It can change. It's so quick. So healthcare and law enforcement, they're at the crisis points. Long-term recovery housing is still lacking, but many individuals exiting treatment or incarceration lack safe, sober housing and spiritual support. Even people that get out of detox in Louisville, Clarksville, surrounding areas, and come back here, they have no place to go. We've got just one option that I know of here in Madison, the Jeff House. And besides that, there's nothing really opioid focused, and that's what we're focused on for long-term recovery. But Madison needs a long-term recovery residence focused on opioid addiction that incorporates discipleship and clinical tools. God's Not Done Ministries is a 501c3 dedicated to helping people break free from addiction through faith, community, and structured support. Our leadership includes recovery mentors, ministry leaders, and peer coaches with lived experience and a passion transformation. That's something that's a little bit different about our ministry. Is all of the people, our leaders, our mentors, the coaches that we utilize are all have life experience. They've all been recovering. They're all recovery addicts or have recovered. We believe in full recovery, faith-based program. We believe in full recovery. I'm an example of that, and so is my wife, as are many others. But our leadership includes those mentors, ministry leaders that all have that life experience. The proposed recovery home will build on our existing work and community partnerships. So some of the program goals and objectives are to provide a 6 to 12 month Christ-centered residential recovery experience. We're looking to support 10 to 12 residents at a time, nothing huge. Offer trauma-informed care, peer coaching, relapse prevention, and discipleship, and integrate life skills training, job readiness, and community reintegration. Kind of a loose program format and curriculum overview would be daily devotions and Bible study, life recovery, or the Genesis process curriculum. I used to work at the Lighthouse Recovery Center in Washington, Indiana, so I'm really familiar with a lot of these evidence-based programs that we'll be implementing. Weekly one-on-one peer mentorship, group counseling, life skills, budgeting, parenting, job readiness, recovery meetings, celebrate recovery, life recovery, and then of course NA and AA. Our total request for inpatient, which obviously we would have to acquire a home or a building somewhere, is $375,000, and I have a breakdown of that in the outline that I'll submit to you all today. And so with that, I'll briefly go over the outpatient option. We're looking at two different options right now, essentially based on what type of funding we can get. We're not only presenting here for the opioid settlement allocation, but also soon with Bethany Legacy and other programs that offer grants and funding. But God's Not Done Ministries is also looking at an outpatient recovery program. We just acquired, our church is located in the old Eggleston School Building. The Freedom Center's upstairs. We're on the main floor with La Casa Amiga. And we just acquired more office space there at the building. And we're intending on using that for outpatient opiate program, utilizing life recovery 12-step, combining group one-on-one step work with trauma-informed recovery tools. Once again, Jefferson County lacks a structured, Christ-centered outpatient recovery program. And the reason I'm focused on Christ-centered, I'll just give you guys a little brief of myself. I tried every other program on the planet. I'm 6 years clean. I'm a pastor of the church. I spent 17 years in prison in 4 different states. And I know what it takes to stay free from the bondage of addiction, and it's Jesus Christ. That's the only way. That's the only power that's able to break those chains. So many individuals that are early in recovery or post-incarceration benefit from outpatient support, and they can still keep their jobs and they can still have family life. This program fills that gap with spiritual, emotional, and practical tools for recovery. And even if we were able to start the inpatient program, outpatient would always be a part of that. So we'd have that transitional step there. And the program overview is essentially the same. And the request on that would be $100,000 to fund that program in its first year of operations. And we have other church donors and people that are also willing to match any type of funding that we get. So with that, I'll submit this to you all. I appreciate your time. Thank you, sir.
Miss Brandy. Are you,
I'm good.
are you good?
It's kind of hard to follow that. He's a speaker, I'm not. So I'm Brandy Atkins, and I'm the director of Brookhaven Transitional Home. As the director of Brookhaven, a long-standing transitional home for women located at 117 Presbyterian Avenue, Madison, Indiana, I respectfully submit this proposal for your consideration for funding in the amount of $50,000 the Jefferson County opioid settlement allocation. Ruth Haven serves as a safe and supportive environment for women who are overcoming addiction, trauma, and other challenges associated with re-entry into the community. Our transitional home focuses on providing stability, structure, and essential services that allow women to rebuild their lives in a healthy and sustainable way. This funding will help us continue to meet the needs of our residents by covering costs associated with recovery resources, transportation, personal essentials, and day-to-day operations. Ruth Haven is already a proven asset to Jefferson County, and we are committed to helping our residents make lasting changes that reduce relapse, recidivism, and dependence on the public systems. I myself went through Ruth Haven back in 2011 when it first opened. Fortunately, I relapsed and I went to prison. I signed an 8-year prison sentence. I got to modify out of prison and I went back to Ruth Haven in 2014, and I've been there ever since. So I know this program works. I am living proof that this program works. So I'm just asking for assistance to help us help many women that need it. That's all I got. I'm like, that's all I got.
That's fine. Yeah. Thank both of you. Appreciate what you're working on.
Thank you.
Board of Health appointment. Hi, Lindsay.
Hi. So I sent over, last minute, the.
Yeah. Sorry for lying. I gotta stop that. Yes.
Recorded regardless.
Oh, I know that.
Okay. So there's 3 board appointments in front of you. We had someone decide that they didn't feel like they were able to stay on our board anymore. So this is an appointment to finish their term. So it's not a full 4-year term. They're fulfilling it through the end of 27. So we got 3 people. We're supposed to present them to you, and you're supposed to make a decision. By Indiana Code.
I did not print all.
Oh, you didn't get all
No,
three?
because I thought
Yeah, I have them
you
all.
said
I didn't know if they.
I thought you said you were bringing them, so
I did bring them. I brought one of each so that we didn't,
We're just appointing one though, right?
just one.
vote.
Yep.
I'll vote. Who's Mr. Davis?
You got it.
Hmm.
One or the other that you like?
Did you have a recommendation or did you?
So all of these were,
These are all for the finish out the
yeah,
27.
yeah, and all of them were some, like, recommended by our board. So really, it's kind of up to you guys.
You know that one.
You need that in the form of a motion?
Sure.
It is technically a
Yeah.
formal appointment.
Formal appointment.
Let's see what it is. Okay, I got you. Yeah, let's see. Looks good to me.
I'm gonna make a motion for Dr. Tom Wow for the replacement then, for the 3 years till 27 ahead of.
I second that.
Okay. Any more discussion? Not all in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay.
Using the signature.
Here,
On the bottom of the, it needs one signature on the bottom of the sheet,
Exactly.
and the other two, I can take them back and get rid of them, because I'm not sure. Thank you very much.
thank you. Health now. Health and Human Relations appointment. That's this one.
Mm-hmm. So we've got, actually the president had to leave, and we had someone that had submitted an application. Stephanie had submitted her application when we had another opening just previously, and so we figured we would appoint her to finish James' term to the end of the year. So Stephanie, Goodward. Godward. Yeah, so I make a motion that we approve Stephanie Godward to finish up James. I forget James Thornton's the last part of her time, so went up to the end of the year.
I'll second your motion.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And then the Wetlands Service Agreement. That would be where Brian would jump in.
He's not here, so.
Yeah.
And where we've tentatively located the new animal shelter, since there is some probability that there could be some wetlands back there, and we don't want to set this in an area where we're going to have to run into those issues. So we're going to have Three Rivers Wetland Consulting do an assessment of the area, and actually they'll do everything but the current jail area. And so that's what this is for.
It's called delineation, right?
Sure.
If we do it all, then we won't have to.
Yeah.
go back. We
I
want to
think
do
it's
something
good
like
for
the
5
range
years.
or whatever.
I forget, I think you got 2 copies of that, and I got, you got 2 copies of this. Anyway, so I don't know what I can't remember the cost. It was,
Oh, let me see that. I didn't see that.
maybe like the last call.
Maybe we should go in.
For
67.
Yeah, for 67. So I make a motion, we approve the service agreement with Three Rivers Wetland Consulting to do a wetland delineation of the area other than the jail, at the 50 acres there in that property. 1150 Berry Lane for $6,700.
I second your motion.
Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye. Just leave one.
Yeah, well, this is department updates, but first off, we'll say that we will not have an EMA or a 911, so we won't wait on them. Looks like this.
Yes, I was late, I'll go first.
Really?
I know how this works.
You've grown so accustomed to it. I mean, you're dying to go first. You're acting like.
I'm just tired.
Wonder why.
Well, we're running in circles, you know, but, it's been what, 3 weeks? Is it 3 weeks now? Okay.
May seem like 3 weeks.
That's 3 minutes maybe, but there's been a lot go on here in the past 3 weeks, if you all know. Dave O'Mara got started paving for us. We got Bacon Ridge paved. We did have an incident. I know we've had some phone calls on that incident up there. After the paving at the intersection of Guyman and Bacon, we had a tandem axle truck that was fully loaded go through the fresh asphalt. Evidently, the flagger moved on up to the next location, not thinking that, you know, a heavy truck would be coming through there. And without remorse for anything, destroyed the whole curb in there, killing our pavement about 2 inches deep of tire tracks. O'Mara was gracious enough to send the guys back over and patch that up, you know, the cost being to us, but they did patch it and correct it, so that way, you know, at least it's gonna be nice for a while. So,
The next truck.
yeah, so we weren't proud of that. Hopefully we find out who that was and maybe we can pursue some action to get them to help pay for that, since they neglected, they drove through the road closed sign and all, so, just so that's stated on the record too, so. But, we got that all done, taken care of on Bacon Ridge. It looks fantastic. They went through 925, I'm correct this time, 925, and Copeland Road. They did the wedge and level on that. That looks extremely nice. Wow. So there ought to be a lot of happy people over there. If they're not happy, well, give us a little bit. We'll make you unhappy. But no,
Here,
it looks,
NDOT's got another detour coming through.
oh, no, Lord, don't say that.
They just think they did.
So, I mean, I'm pretty proud of what they did. The crew operator there, Robert, has been fantastic. I just want to throw that out there. He's really taken over, and he's very new in the position. You know, I know the feeling, and he's been fantastic on that. Meanwhile, while they've been doing that, we have been scrambling with the town of Canaan. There's been a lot of movement in town of Canaan. I appreciate everyone there because we have been all over that town. We've replaced every single culvert in the town of Canaan. We started on some of the drainage issues. We haven't got them all done yet. We got to let some culverts settle in. So Mara was going to pull out. They was going to go catch up on a couple other jobs and come back to Canaan to finish it up. So it's almost done. What a trip that's been, but my hat's off to them guys. My hat's off to Sarah and them for taking some of the nasty phone calls. I mean,
I appreciate it. That's a team effort on that because, wow, our guys did all this in a week. So, I mean, we put them on it, and they went after it, and they got it done. The most excited road that I'm about is Green Bar.
Which one?
Green Bar. I gotta get Dave chuckle in there a little bit. We're ready on it. I don't know for sure when they're gonna be over there, because I'm sure that's a question you've been asked there, Ron. Yeah, we're hoping after the Canaan's done, that way it's kind of all in one area there. That'll be exciting to get that done, so we're ready for that. The rest of our paving, ready for them anytime they get there. We haven't had any storms, so we're good there. It's just been go, go, go. Today I just come back from the IX conference up in Indianapolis there. There's a lot of valuable information that I got today that, wow, that's all I can say. Of course, the big one is the wheel tax that's coming up.
You say that very certain. I think we asked.
a dirty word.
It's a very dirty word.
I think we need to be careful because we had a council person say that the other night and without even, I'm like, wow, we're just throwing it out there.
Yeah, well, we're getting down to the nitty gritty on it, and
Well, I
things that I was listening to today is it's very, very wrong how they've done it, in my opinion. But I think that's something we're going to have to discuss a little bit more here.
I think we need to try to negotiate. If we have other ways to raise funds, why do we have to do that?
Yeah,
I think we have a couple options, at least one for sure, and how we can use those funds from an economic development agreement.
hmm
Because, I mean, I've been told, well, you're leaving this money on the table. I'm like, what do you mean we're leaving money on the table? That's,
yeah,
you get state Republicans telling local Republicans, wait a minute, what's wrong with this picture?
yeah.
We cut it out, now you guys figure it out. And
Yeah, I'm sitting
Anyway.
here like I see one side and I see the other, so I mean, I don't know which way to go. But
Well, I mean, at least in that bill, while it's still, the wheel tax ended up being part of it, it's, you still have a chance to get some road funding without it.
yes, I heard there was a cap. of
Slim.
Yeah,
500.
yeah, they've capped that amount that's available for folks,
And
if
it'll
you
be harder to get to.
Sure,
now the
because-
cities won't be able to
because they
get into
reduced
that.
the amount, but,
And then like, if I understood right, the city can initiate a real tax on our own.
Yeah, yeah.
So basically how it's
Yeah.
one way or another, somebody's gonna get kind of a hot seat for it, you know what I mean? But, so that was a major discussion today, of course. Another one is, I'll have to get with you guys on, I got the paperwork, it's not with me. Is an ordinance for myself or anyone at the county highway, we're gonna have an ordinance passed to be able to purchase. That means anything, whether it be paper, pencils, whatever. We'll have to have an ordinance stating that you said we are capped at, we'll just throw a number, $1 million out there, that we can do this purchase order, you know, and somebody's responsible for it. So that's something I gotta get a little more detail on.
this is part of the, where it used to be, you had to spend 50% of that fund on road maintenance and stuff like that, and now you can spend less on that? Is that,
No,
okay.
no, that's only if you have the wheel tax with the pacer rating of 6 or above.
Oh.
That will be a 60-40. That'll lower the restricted side to 40%. You're unrestricted to 60, but you have to have the wheel tax. You have to have a pacer rating of 6 and above. So they're kind of getting you there. So yeah, there's a lot of things this morning in that conference. It was kind of shocking, I guess you should say. There was a lot of discussion about it. I'm waiting on some more people to get back with me on a few things, and maybe we can figure something out a little better or understand a little bit more. I've talked to Kevin from Harris County. He's on top of it. Let me tell you, he was a million questions tonight. So there's that, and then there's a few other things in the works. You know, just county wise, just people getting out and about, learning and networking. I took a couple guys with me up there, and they got to meet some of the other county superintendents and engineers, and they had a really good time. And I think they come away with a lot of valuable information and understanding a little bit more. So hopefully that'll, help out, they'll understand a little more what's going on and kind of guide me a little bit more sometimes, so. But other than that, that's kind of all I got. We've just been putting in calls. So, other than that, any questions? None?
We did have someone at the Plan Commission meeting. I think you've been out there on Poplar Ridge Road.
I've been out on Poplar Ridge. I did forget to mention that.
Well, that's fine. I wanted to make sure you at least knew.
Yeah, I went out there looking at the road. I'm not very proud of them, but at this point, it's.
Well, I think we go back to the people doing the construction once it's finished. I don't know
Yeah.
that,
When I stopped there wasn't anybody there.
Yeah. but I think we have some contacts with them, so we can reach out and get that figured out. So at least we get.
Yeah, there were several spots up to there. I was very disappointed in what happened there. That looks like garbage, to be honest with you. Anybody that would be tearing up a road like that should, at least give us a call and say, hey, this is what's going on. But I'm a little disappointed in that, but we'll get up there and take care of it.
Well, let's.
Clean it
I think
up.
let's. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Let's open up, or so if you do, I would say the receipts for what it costs, so we have
Yes.
something to at least go back and say, you need to
yes,
fix it, because it was, they were very proud of what had happened, although it was interesting. There was a comment, well, we got, what the exact words were, but they thought it was going to be paved, and then it was just chip and seal. So they were a little disappointed in.
well, that happens,
I know.
If,
I mean, this guy just, it is resurfaced, or it's
Yeah.
not paved.
yeah,
And
it'll
so,
be, it's gonna take some effort to get that back up in shape, but now that we got Canaan kind of under wraps here, caught up with that, because we didn't have much time to get, that'll get us out to the areas a little bit more, get after that. So yeah, we're aware of it. Disappointed, but, and that's of course the same way with the brand new paved road, the disrespect on that was disappointing too, so. It just, if we can get the public to understand what's going on and give us a little bit of, leeway here, once everything's done, they'll appreciate everything we've done, a little bit more, and it lasts for years instead of, let's just go lead on now,
Yeah.
Another tool that we've been talking about with you all is that AI-based Biolytics. Did some more research on that this week, with several other counties. There's quite a bit more people adopting that and going with that. So I'm still learning with that also. So it's looking up on that. So I know the cost is not favorable, but that's just something, sometimes a good tool costs you a little bit of money. So I'm trying to get them to help us out there a little bit, trying to get that discount deal.
I was wondering if, when we have, because they go to the surveyor's office first to get a building permit. If we could have something that would trigger, but it's a government way, some sort of form that they need to fill out on, like a road.
I agree with that.
Something that, especially that magnitude, that lets people know. I mean, I think we have a few other spots in the county where we have some trucks larger than.
Yes, I've
Should
gotten
be on
surprised a couple of times here this year. They got a building permit, and I don't think they put on there what the building was there to do.
I mean, I think even if they do, you need to know, and there needs to be some part of that building permit. There's an agreement.
Yes,
Because we do it for other big projects. I mean, for the solar, there was a road plan in there. So just something that we maybe adding a couple little things in the process of getting a building permit that kind of lets people know, okay,
yeah,
we need to have that discussion before.
Battery farms are liable for the road.
Right. I mean, the same kind of deal. So,
Absolutely.
and another one that I'll probably have to have revised is our right-of-way permitting for this broadband. I know it's been questioned a lot here lately, especially, they're saying people's going on their property and doing this, doing that. At that time, they're using the easements of, the power company overhead. There's nothing I can say yes or no to on that, because I had no control of their easement there. When they do the boring and the plowing of the cable in the ground on the road edge, that's where we get to come in and discuss things. I think we need to mandate when they have a manhole or a box where they have a joint there, we need to make sure that that's across the ditch. Maybe put that in the wording. I've got the county road right now, Dawson Smith, 400, north, and then in the middle of 400, actually, I've got pictures of it. It's sticking in the road about 2 feet, and it's about 2 feet deep. It's a gravel road, this section is, and there's a manhole. I mean, how are we gonna grade that road, with the manhole there? I did, on the way in today, while I was late, finally found the person in charge of the job that's going on currently, and I stopped and talked to him. Got their permit numbers and everything, so I can verify that tomorrow. He did explain to me it will be buried 2 feet down. So with that, a road grader should never hit it. But on the other hand, if we go through there re-ditching with like a gradle or, an excavator or something, there's a potential chance of hitting that because you don't know it's there.
Sure.
So I told him I would like to have the entire map from this cable, because this cable is not just our regular broadband cable. This is an AI-based network that is going from Louisville to Cincinnati, from Cincinnati to Cleveland, from Cleveland across. So we don't want to hit that. That might get expensive. So, yeah. So now I have.
We told you not to put it there.
Yeah. So I got a better understanding what's going on there. I did tell the crews, like, hey, get out of the road, let people through. Don't be them kind of guys too. So, let that probably in one ear and out the other at that time. So, but other than that, that's kind of all I got right here at the moment. So I hope. Any questions? Any questions?
Well, how about we'll jump before we let Trish up? I know Terry stopped by. You want to take your turn now? I can. If I follow, that way you can follow.
Do I get to sit down?
Yeah.
No.
You gotta stand by Terry.
Well, I'll stay up there.
Well, about a year ago, I was here complaining about the road, 925. I just wanted to come. Yeah. I just wanted to come and appreciate the help that the commissioners did, what Jason did, what Mara did. It's much appreciated. Now we may need speed limits on. Everybody's been driving 20 or 25 mile an hour. Now you got a freeway. So I just wanted to let everybody know I wasn't here to complain, but I wanted to show that everybody was appreciative. What they all done.
Don't forget Bobby over there. He got it all on the
Yeah,
community
Bobby.
crossing. That wasn't me. That was Bobby that got that. I just got to do the end result. So
I had to send him a picture while I was out there looking at it.
Yeah.
Hopefully they all stop you, you got church, get the blessing.
Yeah.
They get done.
Yeah.
We appreciate that.
yeah,
Yeah, Bobby was involved in that too. Unfortunately, he left. Jason.
You got that.
yeah.
You're in good hands.
I don't know
We
about that.
appreciate it.
Hey, no problem. Thank you.
Thanks, Terry.
Thank you all.
Thanks for taking the time to say thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure you don't hear that a lot. so.
Thank you. No one ever called you.
No.
This year?
It is appreciated.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about starting another program within the shelter. But this one is to take like the highly sought after animals, like the little Pomeranians, the little Yorkies that everybody jumps for. You get more than 10 people wanting the same animal. And raising their adoption fees just a little and calling it the Hero Adoption Program. And we basically would be, it's like some animals like puppies, small breeds, and purebreds finds home quickly. And their higher adoption fees help us save the ones who can't. So we'll basically be taking that extra money and putting it towards, another animal that needed to stay longer because of a medical reason or something like that. But we're going to call these hero adoptions and kind of give them like a little something to go along with it, but just to kind of help the one, help bring in a little more funds. Because we've watched like the last couple of purebreds that we've had in there, people just fighting over it, and we were like, what if we just raised the money on it, what we could do for that.
Start an auction service.
But I don't know if that something we can do. I mean, do y'all see any reasons or?
I don't think we can do the auction service, but I
No.
think we probably can.
But basically, I'm gonna say your adoption fee goes further. It supports vaccinations, surgeries, behavioral training, and daily care of the animals who need us most. In short, you're helping save more lives than just the one you adopted.
I mean, do you have an idea on,
We're gonna raise like 100. So like for dogs, it would, instead of 200, it would be 300. For a cat, it would, instead of 100, it would be 200. Now, it's not often we get the highly sought after cat, but there has been a couple of times that we had Siamese in there. And we had people lining up at the door at 10 a.m. waiting for us to open at noon so they could be the first one in there to adopt that cat. It was just some thought process. We were thinking of just more ways that we can help.
Have you seen
the
other
less-
shelters,
Yeah.
doing that?
Yeah, they call it different things, but,
Right.
they call, the highly adoptable paws. If they know it's highly adoptable, they raise theirs all the way up 250 more than their normal. I don't think we could go that high. I don't want to go that high, but just a little bit more to help offset some of those extra costs that we have. And is that something that I need to like formally bring for you? Right.
You have to write that up in that one.
I feel like anytime you're charging a fee, there should be an acceptance.
Yeah.
It needs to be listed and you guys need to accept that fee so that if for some reason we were to be audited and State Board of Accounts goes in and looks at that receipt, you can say why you charged that fee.
And that's,
basically what
I
you
just
said,
want
but
to be
just,
transparent to
yeah,
everybody. but
yeah,
it was
I
just
put together a
thoughts.
proposal like that and then we can vote at it at the next meeting.
Email it or.
Either way, I mean, we'd have to vote on it at the next meeting. But, so
Okay,
you
I'll
got,
write something
you
up
got a
then.
couple weeks and
And then unfortunately, the gutter fix that we did is not working. The ceiling is starting to bow real bad back there on that back wall, and every one of the windows is now leaking around it when it rains. So whatever we did to the gutter is not still stopping the water from coming down in the bricks.
Okay.
So,
I'll call them and tell them to go look at it.
okay. Now, that last big storm we had, it was really coming in. So that's how we noticed it was back. And then we got to looking and it's bubbling like along the wall again. Like it did.
Okay.
I'm scared the mold will come back. Still looking for a solution on the feral cat problem in Houston County. I mean, I think that's just going to be ongoing. I'm trying to come up with something, but without having a quick vet to get them to and a quick, turnaround. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to come up with a solution right away. And then I'm hoping to bring before county council, we bring back the third full-time position. So that I can hire Chris, who's been with us since I come back as a part-timer. He has been a major asset. He's a maintenance man, everything, the muscle of the shelter, I should say. He's the muscle. And it would be nice to have him around as a full-time. Didn't know if I needed to have permission to do that. For you all or not.
I think you can fit it into your budget or put it into your budget and consider that.
Heather quickly, but back before helped me and so I think next.
I think she has the funds available now.
Yeah.
She would just have to have it reallocated and we'd have to redo the salary ordinance to make that change.
So it wouldn't necessarily have to wait till the budget time, would it then?
No,
But
I
mean,
think
we're gonna be-
there's already money available in appropriations that we could move around.
And then I was gonna ask about the survey, which y'all answered with the wetlands thing, so that was all that. We're doing, chugging along. Now we're overflowing with cats and less on dogs, because it's that season.
Kitten.
Yes, everywhere, there's kittens everywhere. Right off it for us up there. Any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Well, I don't see no more departments. Heather or Sarah, anything you ladies have for us?
No, other than we received the 49 TC today from Megan. So this next week we will be actively working on getting approval for settlement. So hopefully we can disperse those checks out to the other units fairly quickly. So we'll be anxiously awaiting that. I know the school and the city's already reached out to me. So we'll be working on that next week in our office.
No other comments from out in the audience, I don't think. Steve, you good?
Steve, you.
Everybody's looking at me.
Well,
I guess I
you are.
have some bad news that indirectly affects you all. Our executive director of River Hills Economic Development Group, in which I'm on the executive committee, has tendered his resignation. He's got a job promotion or another job offer. I guess, you know, you can't be disturbed that he's improving himself, but it does directly affect our RDA. Since you all are not a member of our economic development region, you are Versailles.
Cersei.
And so we've just found out about that. We have an executive meeting next Tuesday, I think, with the River Hills. Corey Cochran has been tremendous in helping the RDA develop our course of action and our success that we've had in getting money for our 5-county region. So we're going to tackle that and see how that comes out and see what we can do. The staff have been very important to us, but he will truly be missed. He has been a tremendous asset for our region, and he has gotten a lot. He has facilitated the information and transferring that information to Indianapolis, and we're going to miss him. And it's a big hill to climb. We'll get there, but
You had other hills you had to climb, and you've climbed them. You were worried the one year when you had a plan, you had no money, and then look at that. Boom. Look how that worked out. So I understand, but you have a plan, right?
we have a plan.
There we go.
We have plan A, plan B.
Well, that's
and
right. But once
A,
again, I mean,
B, C,
I remember
D
that.
is all the above.
Well, that's fine, but I remember a number of years ago when you had put together, the group had put together the plan, and then you were afraid no money was coming, and look what happened. Because you had the plan put together. How much money did we get the first ready one? We got as much as we could, right?
75 million, I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think it's a lot, but it's pretty close. But then, because they had the plan, you were ready to go.
We were ready to go, and we have distributed more money than any region in the state of Indiana for the number one, and that's good because Ready One is coming to a close, and we're trying to tie up a lot of ends around the region, especially here in Jefferson County, and so we have a plan for that too, and we're going to miss it. But hang in there.
The meetings got moved a week, right?
Pardon?
The RDA meeting got moved.
Yes, it's the 13th.
13th was supposed to be.
It was supposed to be Friday.
Moved.
That's tomorrow, isn't it? Yes. It's next Friday.
It's all right. I'm staying on top of it. I got you covered. You've been in Brazil or Australia?
I have been in Brazil.
You have been there.
I have been for 2 weeks.
What time is it? No, they're not too far. Are they an hour?
Obrigado.
Obrigado? That's about all I know.
Everybody else has had a turn. You got anything, Mr. Bob? Anything else, Dave?
But we should have a draft plan from Structure Point here within a couple weeks or so we can see what they're, they've looked at, they've taken a lot of input from local people and around surrounding counties and stuff, and have put together some things. So should get some something to look at. I think it might actually come out tomorrow. And
I don't have anything else.
Motion to adjourn,
I second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you all for coming.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.